Well, hello guys, welcome to this week's video. I'm going to be looking at long range. As you can see there, the mess on my desk. I'm halfway through setting the GPS up on this 7-inch quad. So what I think I'm going to do is, this video, like I said, which is part 1, I'm going to show you how to wire up and then set up the GPS on betaflight. So, let's go. Now, one thing you will need if you're going to put GPS on your quad is some sort of 3D print to mount it. And the best idea is have it somewhere where it's got a clear view of the sky, so there's no obstructions. Some people actually put it on the battery strap on top, so it has a clear view, but I don't like the idea of that. Now, wiring it up's as simple as things come. You can see there the connector, there's 4 wires coming off that. And then them 4 wires just go straight to your flight controller. Forgive my shoddy soldering there, see if you can get a better view. I'll put a couple of diagrams up here now just showing the wires. All you need is 5 ground, a TX and an RX. Obviously, like most things, TX goes to RX on your flight controller and RX goes to TX. So now that we've got that wired in, you plug it into betaflight and we'll go through some of the settings. Well, now that we've got our GPS all wired in, what we have to do now is plug it into betaflight. Got it running in the background there. I'll put a bigger picture up here so you can see. And what we'll do is we'll go tab by tab and go through all the settings. So I'm going to plug it in now. betaflight's connected. And we'll start with the ports tab. Now what you need to do here is, depending on which UART you put it on, I obviously use UART 1, you need to go across to the sensor input and then you need to select that to GPS, and then you probably need to set the baud rate and that on this as well. So I think the standard baud rate for this TBS one is 9600, so we'll set that and then save and reboot. Right, so once you've set up your ports tab, we have to go to the configuration tab next, so we'll click on that. And you want to scroll down to where it says GPS here. And you want to set your protocol. This one is U blocks for the TBS GPS. You want auto config on, and then ground assistance type, you want auto detect. So then that's save and reboot. Also, after the configuration, it's now time to change your OSD. Now you can have more or less anything you want on here, but the ones that I'm going to use, if I can find them, I'm going to use home direction, which gives you a little arrow, so when you're flying it shows you which way it is to basically come back home. I'm going to put that at the top there. I'm going to put my GPS satellites, so obviously you need a minimum amount of satellites to actually, for GPS return to home and that to work. Just a quick note here while setting up the OSD, betaflight I think needs a minimum of 8 satellites for GPS to work, so it's worth having the little display in the corner there to see how much you've got. Obviously the more satellites you have the better, but you need a minimum of 8 to do anything, so put that at the side there. I'm going to use my GPS speed just because I think it's cool. I'll put that underneath there. Where else is there? Let's have a look. I think we'll have home distance on and all, because that'll show us how far away we've flown from our home point, so that'll be good for keeping an eye on our records and everything as we try and set some. I mean, your OSD is your own personal sort of preference really, you can have wherever you like. You can also have your GPS longitude and latitude, but I'll quickly show you here. You put them both on and it does take up quite a lot of room in your goggles. I mean, some people wouldn't be bothered by that, but on the plus side, if you do happen to lose your quad, it would make it a lot easier to find it if you know the GPS coordinates. But for now, I'm not going to bother with them. I shouldn't be going too far. And that's it really. I think we'll keep it at that for now, and then we'll save that, and then we'll see what it looks like in our goggles. Well, there we go. That was part one of this 3-part video. It's going to be. I've just shown you how to actually wire the GPS up and then do some of the basic settings so that you can get your OSD in your goggles, so you can see your distance and speed and stuff like that. Next part is going to be setting up GPS rescue. I'll show you how to do that on your quad, set all your parameters for distance away and stuff like that, and then set up your aux mode switch on your remote. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and we'll see you in part 2.